Let's get some analysis now from Omar Rahman. He is a fellow at the Middle East Council on Global Affairs and joins me live now from New York. Thank you for being with us on the program. Mohammed said there while wrapping up his report that everyone's looking at whether or not this is going to turn into a wider conflict. Now, in the last couple of hours, I've had guests that have said that not Hezbollah nor do Israel want to see it escalate past their borders. And I've also had guests that said that Israel wants to see this turn into a wider conflict to get the U.S. more involved. What do you think?
First of all, thanks for having me. I think it can be a number of things. Either Israel is deliberately trying to escalate, trying to widen this conflict. That would match what it did more recently as well in Syria by assassinating a senior general of the Iranian military, and also, as you said, with the possibility of dragging the U.S. Into a conflict with Israel's foes in the region because the U.S. is so heavily engaged. At the same time, I mean, it could be something more simple as an attack on one of the most senior leaders of Hamas after Israel vowed to do so after October 7th to attack them wherever they are, inconsequential or irrespective of the consequences of that. What we know for sure is that it's an extrajudicial killing. It's illegal. It's a violation of Israeli sovereignty. And this is something that Israel has done for decades to Palestinian political figures, and it's also a major provocation for Hezbollah at a time when the border between Lebanon and Israel is warm. There's been a lot of killing, and it could escalate at any time.
I just watched a couple of Mu'taz Azeza's stories on Instagram, and for those who don't know, he's a photographer in Gaza that has been documenting the war on Gaza, and I'm at a loss of words, Omar. I'm finding it hard to describe how babies with severe injuries in their heads are being treated, their limbs are being amputated without anesthesia. All of this is happening with the support of the US. But when you look at the public opinion, the majority of citizens there want to see Israel's war on Gaza end, don't they?
Yes, I mean, that's what the polling is showing. Unfortunately, this decision to continue to back Israel to the hilt is being made by what we can see is one man, and that's Joe Biden. And he's the most important decision maker in this factor. And he is committed, I think, to supporting Israel, irrespective of things. I mean, there's been some, change in tone, but in terms of substance, in terms of action, the United States government, the Biden administration continues to send, skirting Congress to send more weapons, more artillery, and tank shells to the Israelis. As you said, what's happening in Gaza is the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my lifetime, and we're seeing it now for almost 3 months now. So, I mean, whether public opinion, whether that translates to punishing the Biden administration down the road at the election. We've seen some divisions within his administration, within the State Department, but Biden seems adamant in terms of maintaining this course.
Well, one thing the U.S. has been critical of is the attempts to ethnically cleanse Palestinians from Gaza. And we've heard this time and time again from Israeli politicians. We've heard the same kind of rhetoric from U.S. politicians. Is that Israel's ultimate goal here?
I think it is. Everything supports that. As you said, there has been the rhetoric, genocidal rhetoric of Israeli politicians talking about both the destruction, total destruction of Gaza, and now, especially, I mean, even more clearly than ever, pushing the Palestinian residents of Gaza, 2 million people, into other countries, what they're even calling voluntary immigration. That's one aspect of it. There's been the forced displacement of 90% of the population. There's been the, destruction of all vital civilian infrastructure. Gaza Strip, homes. There's going to be nowhere for people to return to. So the overall objective seems to be to make the Gaza Strip unlivable, so that the Palestinian people are forced to leave. And there are reasons for that, both that tie in with Israeli Zionist ideology, the dispossession of the natives, their replacement with Jews, ingathering of Jews from around the world, as well as the October 7th kind of ruptured Israel's status quo in terms of managing the Palestinian population centers. So it feels itself in a position to kind of change the equation here by forcing the people out of the Gaza Strip.
Omar Rahman, thank you so much for being with us here on TRT World and sharing that analysis with us. I appreciate it.